Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen monthly report, looking at what CIG have been working on over the last few weeks and some of what they're focused on now in November 2025 for Alpha 4.4, Nix and beyond. Let me give you a real quick update on 4.4 and patches first though. There was a new 4.4 EVOCATI patch on the 5th of November with more fixes, performance improvements and polish for Nix. I believe that it's still the plan to get this out to wider PTU for the weekend. In the roadmap update for 4.4 as well, CIG have added a new feature. The Maxox neutron cannons are getting an art refactor. They also confirmed that the exterior freight elevator updates and cargo updates are for all three systems, not just Nix and Pyro. The engineering tech preview, they're going to have another build ready potentially later today, and then they're going to test that either later this evening or on Friday, or both. I was concerned that engineering was going to go away for a few weeks or months again every time they had this little EVOCATI test. My hope is that CIG open that up to wider testing groups as well so they can actually show bits off of it rather than just talk about it briefly. Anyway, on to the monthly report proper. Let's start with ships. The Hull B is currently prepared for its white box review, with the final touches being made to ensure it hits the required functionality criteria. We don't have any idea when the Hull D and E will be done, but obviously they're working through the Hull series. Both Drake Ironclad models and the Command module progressed well into grey box, with geometry and lighting updates to the modular kits helping set the interior tone throughout. Now I'm expecting these to actually go to flyable at Fleet Week in May. That's my current guesstimate, and it is both the Ironclad and Ironclad Assault. 4 ships progressed through October. The first is on track for its final review in early November, while the second is art complete and currently with the downstream teams. The third, an upcoming variant, passed its Lord Zero review. Following this, the downstream teams began their tasks ahead of its final review. It looks to me that the pic that will display on screen might be of the Corsair looking ship from CitizenCon 2024, the silhouette. A lot of these ships they're talking about are very likely to turn up at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Art was also completed for an all new ship before it continued down the pipeline, with paints being created alongside a full pass from QA. Now if you'd like to know what some of those ships might be and potentially what we're getting at the 2955 Intergalactic Aerospace Expo new vehicle and ship-wise, then check out my spoiler warning video coming out later this weekend. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you click the bell so that you don't miss out on that. Another new vehicle, the Greycat UTV, which was briefly shown during the introduction of the STV, entered its white box phase. Pre-production has been kicked off for the Anvil Liberator. This is where they update the concepts and get all the sort of information they need together to work out a plan for full production of the ship. The North American ship teams progressed with 2 unannounced vehicles. One is currently with downstream teams for closeout ahead of its final review, while the second is approaching its grey box review in early November. Again, Intergalactic Aerospace Expo stuff is likely here. Elsewhere, the RSI Perseus had a large-scale developer and QA playtest this month to check its robustness and intent in combat, which was a great success, which is good because that is probably going to be the crown jewel of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo this year. White box continued on the Drake Kraken, with more developers moving onto it as other projects were completed. Really happy to see the Kraken get work. Hopefully it will be released next year. Work on the Aegis Hammerhead and RSI Aurora continued as well to bring them up to current standards. For the Hammerhead design are currently setting up the revisions, including the addition of blast doors throughout the corridors and updated component placement. The Aurora is currently awaiting downstream support, particularly for audio and VFX, as these feature some of the oldest in-game assets. Yeah, so it's a very old ship. The Aurora needs some updates. Core gameplay teams pushed forward on the inventory revamp. This involved working on the equipment area where players can add weapons, mods and equipment, including tractor beams and medical guns. We are bringing back the ability to have 2 weapons stored on your backpack while you hold a third one in your hands. The team also worked on different inventory tabs and floating item slots and kicked off the early stages of capital ship repair, rearm and refueling. I believe this is the mothership mechanics having a ship dock docked with you, and then being able to use the resources nearby or on the mothership to rearm, repair, refuel. The economy team spent last month building the economy of Nyx and giving the system some character. As part of this, mining, refining, and shops received passes to ensure the right story is told through balance and numbers, so making sure they've got the right inventories and stuff like that, what items there, what brands are there. For freelance cargo trading, besides the usual changes and new trade routes, the team worked on a journal entry to steer players in the right direction and give insight into how they think about trading. Several missions were adjusted based on the salvage career developments. For example, missions should now spawn ships that give fairer rewards for the buy-in, time, and effort invested. Following positive feedback on the faction competition missions, the team provided support for new missions and events currently in production. At the same time, they continued looking into ways to incentivize cooperative gameplay. Mission design worked on the recent limited time event, the Frontier Fighters finale. This included missions in Pyro and Stanton, along with changes to the tracking tech introduced in the Resource Drive event, which allows players to contribute to phases of contracts and earn rewards. The team also completed a major loot refresh, with devs updating the underground facilities and distribution centers to give greater future control and bring them up to par with the current design. This is something missions and level design will continue to update each time they use older locations. The devs also added several more locations, including the spaceship graveyard, which was updated to support ship ambush missions. Additional ship graveyards and underground facilities were added to generate more missions, supporting the increased player cap and new players. The mission team also completed work on the Accept from World feature. This will allow players to accept missions from physical items in the verse instead of having to use the contract broker. Cloud Imperium is a test case for this, where you can go up to a panel or a screen and just accept a mission from there. This will enable missions outside of mission providers to improve immersion. For example, it could enable a physical jobs board for offering missions around a specific location. The team also set up the new courier tech at existing locations to make sure they're more robust when they go online. The missions in Pyro were the first step in testing this system. Work also progressed on the features shown at CitizenCon Direct. System-to-system hauling progressed well, with the devs adding new missions that will require players to take items between star systems. These missions will expand the hauling career until Reputation version 2 is implemented. Some existing missions will move over to the Nyx system with new narrative elements, while some older content will return, including missing person, black box recovery, and retrieve cargo missions. The upcoming Welcome to Nyx mission progressed well too, and I believe the Welcome to Nyx mission is actually a sandbox activity as well, just with some additional first time you do it mission stuff, like at ASD facilities, right? A design review was done for the Siege of Orison, with the team looking at player feedback and seeing how to improve the event to support instancing. Really excited for this. We've got Siege of Orison returning in 2026 in an instanced form, so you'll be able to take a group of people that you want to go and do it together. Super excited for that. The narrative team focused on final preparations for the release of Nyx. Since Levski was first added to the standard system years ago, we've been eagerly awaiting the egalitarian society settling into its proper place among the stars. We have been coordinating with design not only on the featured mission shown off at CitizenCon, but on dozens of other contracts that will become available to players once they enter the system. Yeah, that was one of my main concerns with 4.4, is that Nyx is going to feel empty because there's no planets there. There is Delamar, there is an asteroid field, there are stations there. There's a bit to do, but I want more. I'm always going to want more, and I haven't been battling the Vandal yet, but I'm excited to get involved with Nyx, and I do think it's going to have a good amount of content for players. It'd be interesting to see if it becomes really popular as a system to visit and for players to effectively live in without planets at this stage. We're getting the planets once they have the Genesis tech in 2026. Nyx 1 looks great, but let's see what the numbers say. Character updates. Last month saw a major push with facial animation teams completing their content for 4.4. This included new animations for the returning ATC air traffic control character, Eslin Macken. They captured content for a new mission giver as well as multiple voice packs for NPCs throughout the Nyx system. I believe Recco Battaglia will be returning pretty soon. These will be released as part of 4.4, though the mission giver will not appear until a future patch. They've also been talking about dog motion capture. Amazing. I know they want to make updates to the Copians as well. The character art team team finalised various armours for a new gang and in-game rewards and progressed with a new heavy armour and clothing items. The concept team finalised handoff sheets and began exploring directions for a new gang. I assume that's another new gang, or the new gang that we just referenced earlier. It's one of the two. Some tech updates. Online services, they've progressed with item recovery tier 1 and the early stages of instancing. The network team progressed towards their first iteration of their new server meshing technology, which will be moving to initial testing in early November, so soon. While players will not experience any significant changes, this is an important first step in laying the groundwork towards dynamic server meshing, a key component of 1.0 and Star Citizen being an MMO. R&D, they made lots of progress on CPU, GPU, and memory optimizations, and there's lots of updates and push towards getting Vulkan in-game fully implemented, and I believe them depreciating DirectX 11. Boom! That's it for your monthly report updates this time around. I am really excited for Alpha 4.4, probably more excited for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. I'm always up for new vehicles and ships to turn up, and especially when there's going to be loads that are flyable. We're not going to see any new concept sales until potentially they do the battle cruiser next year, but I like that. I like the fact they're going straight to flyable, although I would prefer to see ships at an earlier stage rather than having to wait for them to be flyable before them being revealed. I'm also very much looking forward to economy updates they've got planned for the game. I've talked to the economy team a few times. I've got a couple of mates that are working on the economy team. They are very excited for things like player-to-player trading coming in the future and just a cool load of dynamic economy stuff, or Star Sim stuff as I believe they refer to it as. You should tell me all the things you think in the comments below. It helps me and it helps the channel out. Also, click the links to NordVPN. That'll get you some better accessibility, security, and privacy on the internet if you decide to purchase it. It's also massive discount if you use my links. Oh, isn't that great? The answer to that is yes. Yes, it is great. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway. For November, we are giving away the latest in pristine technology, the Grey's Market Shiv, a heavy fighter with a bucket of weaponry, and the first compound ship in game. It is made up of a cutlass and a load of other ships stuck together. It comes with lifetime insurance and a game package, all you need to play Star Citizen. But we're also bundling in a CitizenCon digital goodies pack, just loads of FPS items and stuff that you can put around your hangar and your base eventually. Just comment on any of our videos during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. Also, a big thank you to CIG for providing that prize. If you would like to further support the channel by clicking the join button under our videos and becoming a channel member or becoming a Patreon, then please do. It helps out a ton and enables us to make daily Star Citizen content, even when the YouTube algorithm or revenues are unkind. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click any of the affiliate links under our videos. That helps too. It gives us a little kickback. Share with us your feedback and what you'd like to see. We'll see you in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video.